Hey there everyone, it's RetroKaizer here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and today's video is for all of you beginners out there, all of you people who are going to be starting your new MRT journey with that 5 million yen, and obviously you're going to be looking for a good performance car which will not really, burn a hole through your wallet, and you'll have some money left so that you can save up and buy better cars. Now, the car I'm going to be talking about is pretty much, in my opinion, one of the best beginner cars you can get in Midnight Racing Tokyo after the 1.2 update. Now, the car I'm talking about is the Honda Integra Type R DC5. Now, why is this car good? It is good for two reasons. Number one, its price. It comes in at a price of 2,883,000 yen, which is not a lot in terms of like other cars. Which is not a lot if you look at the other options that you will be getting as a beginner. And number two is its performance. These two factors are pretty good and something which you'll be looking for as a beginner. Good performance at a low price is something that you will, thank yourself for, because you'll have a lot of money left after buying this car, and you can just save on top of that money by grinding around, and you'll get a good amount of savings and you'll be able to buy a better car. Now, coming down to the car, why am I calling it one of the best beginner cars out there in MRT right now? Well, here is why. So I tested the car out in all the maps, right? First and foremost, I went to Tokyo City and I ran the Godzilla Gauntlet with the car, and I clocked in a time of 2 minutes 16 seconds, which is pretty good, honestly. I was satisfied because the lap was really good. The car, it performed really well around those tight turns that you have to face in the Godzilla Gauntlet, and it also, gave me some good acceleration, and the car was able to handle the turns at high speeds. That was a very good factor, and the brakes on this vehicle are also pretty good. Not even for a second will you feel that the car is trying to spin you out, or is feeling uneasy, or is trying to react way too much per input that you put, or is not reacting as your input is going in. Car is a well-rounded, good performance car, and honestly, this car will actually help you learn how to drive all over all the maps without making too much mistakes, or without, you having to push your limits too much, and it won't really, be a bad investment for you, once again because of the price. Now, it performed really well for all the street racing events in the city. Now, if we go over to C1, now this car performed good on C1 too, which was a surprise because I was thinking that it won't be, able to keep up with all the other cars over there because all the high-speed cars run on C1. Surprisingly, I was able to beat a RX-7 and a R32, surprisingly. Now, once again, skill is also a matter. I don't know if, the other people were as skilled as me, but I managed to beat them in the Integra. And from a standstill lap, the car is able to clock in a time of 3 minutes and 45 seconds. However, I did do a rolling lap and I managed to clock in 3 minutes 35 seconds. And also, once again, the car is really good if you are trying to learn the high-speed lines of C1, because it is not going to make you feel unstable once again, and it is going to catch those lines. The car is honestly very, very beginner friendly. And after C1, I took it to Ichikawa. Now, on Ichikawa, it does get a bit uneasy in some places, like in extremely hard braking situations, you will feel a bit uneasy, and also it is a bit slow on the uphill. That is something which I faced. It struggles in some places to climb. The speed starts to drop, but that is something which you can obviously overcome by practicing and seeing how you can increase the speed and increase, the speed which your car will have, and, grab better lines. So, practicing with the car will obviously make your skill better with it. So that is that. On Atsuki, well, I ran the entire map. Honestly, I couldn't really clock in that much of a time because my laps weren't counting. I don't know why, but well, that's that. On Atsuki, it performs really well too. Those tight turns aren't that much of a problem, and since you're a beginner, you'll be running around those turns time and again, and you'll actually start to learn, ways you can increase the speed that you're carrying into those turns. So the Integra Type R DC5 is a pretty good, and in my book, honestly, one of the best beginner cars you can get out there. Even if you're an experienced driver, if you're looking for a cheap, good performing car, you can obviously beeline for the Integra Type R because it's not gonna, cost you too much. The Integra Type R DC5 is a great investment if you are a beginner and are looking for a cheap and good performance car, and it is also tier 3, so you can flex on your friends with that who are driving tier 2 cars. Now, if there are any drawbacks that I would like to talk about the car, yeah, there are a few. Now, this car isn't all great, okay? It does have cons. Now, some of the cons and drawbacks of this car are, the first drawback that you'll be facing is that you won't really be able to keep up that much with other tier 3 cars, like let's say the GTR R34, the Lotus Esprit, the Porsches. They are obviously gonna be way ahead of you because those cars are on a different performance level. And this is basically like, I would say, an entry-level tier 3 car. I mean, it has better performance than a tier 2, but not as great performance to compete with other tier 3 cars head to head. In the straights, you won't have any chance of getting ahead, but you will have a chance of getting ahead in the turns because this car can carry a very good amount of speed into sharp turns and into any turn in general. Tier 2, tier 1, obviously you can beat those cars, but some tier 2s will show a good amount of competition to you. But once again, if you keep practicing, you'll keep getting better, and you'll be way better with this car. And the other drawback which this car has is that it doesn't come with body kits. That is something which you'll have to sacrifice if you're looking for a good performance car. They could bring it in a future update, I don't know, but on one side you'll be getting the new rims. Yeah, every car can have new rims, so you can obviously slap some new rims on the car and go about winning races and slamming in good times. Aside from these, the last drawback is lower end of the RPM band. You won't really be feeling anything. You'll have to really top the car out on the higher RPMs to feel the speed and to get it moving, because in the lower RPMs it just doesn't have that much power, and it starts to show as if you look at your speedometer and you're driving around, let's say 3,000-4,000 RPM. VTEC does kick in, and you really have to always keep that VTEC kicking in if you want to stay ahead. So that is basically it about this car. I mean, it is a very sound and good option if you're looking for something cheap and good for learning how to drive on all the maps of MRT. So that's it for this video, everyone. I hope you all enjoyed and found this informative. Do comment down below what other cars do you think are better beginner cars, and yeah, if you have bought a Integra Type R DC5, then do share your experience. I'm RetroKaizer, and I'm signing out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you very much for watching. Do hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any updates. Thank you very much.